You know, it's funny. Sometimes the biggest, most powerful lessons in storytelling don't come from some epic 1,000-page novel. Nope. Sometimes they come from just a few lines of dialogue. Today, we are going to completely dissect a single hilarious scene, this flirt duel that packs an absolute masterclass in character, conflict, and comedy into just a handful of exchanges. Let's dig in and see what makes it work so well.
I mean, that's a huge question, right? Is a great comedy scene all about landing that one big punchline? Or is there something deeper going on, some kind of invisible structure holding it all together? Well, we're about to find out by breaking down this little dialogue, the flirt duel, which, believe it or not, manages to build a perfect little story arc in less than a minute. All right, so Act 1, the setup. Like any good fight, this one kicks off with a challenge. And in just a couple of lines, we're going to meet our fighters and find out exactly what prize they're competing for.
First, let's meet our duelists. Okay, so on the left, you've got Kasarin, our challenger. He's the younger cousin, and he's just full of that classic, I've got something to prove energy. Then, on the right, we have Jaru, the reigning champ. He's the older, cooler, way more confident one. You immediately get this dynamic, and it is just a fantastic engine for comedy.
And boom! With that one line from Kasarin, the gauntlet is officially thrown down. This, right here, this is our inciting incident. It's not just a simple challenge, it's a boast. He's set the goal, charmed this person named Peppy, and he has just kicked off the entire conflict. The duel is on!
Now, Jaru's response is so perfectly calm, but the real knockout punch is in those last two words, little cousin. That single phrase does so much heavy lifting. It immediately tells us about their history, Jaru's seniority, and it adds this perfect, subtle layer of playful condescension. He's accepted the challenge, and he's already signaling that he fully expects to win.
And now we move into Act 2, the escalation. But see, the conflict doesn't build through some physical fight. No, it builds with something much, much funnier, a battle of wits. And believe me, the attacks are about to get personal.
This is such a brilliant move. Jaru doesn't just trade insults, he completely changes the game. By just inventing rule number 1, he reframes the entire duel on his own terms. It's not just a flirting contest anymore, it's a full-on roast. And by using such a specific, embarrassing detail, he puts Kasarin completely on the back foot.
And Kasarin's reaction tells us everything we need to know. That little stutter, the hey, it just screams that he's totally flustered. He's been knocked completely off balance, and his really weak defense about them being training socks is basically him admitting he's lost this round. The battle of wits is, for the moment, a decisive win for Jaru.
But just when you think you know exactly where this is all going, we hit Act 3, the twist. A new character walks in, and she is about to completely short-circuit this entire rivalry. Honestly, this is the moment that takes the whole scene to another level.
What an entrance line. I mean, that is just a devastatingly funny observation that immediately punctures the ego of both boys. With just one sentence, Marissa establishes herself as sharp, observant, and completely, totally unimpressed. The duel between the cousins, it's instantly put on pause.
So what's Marissa's role in all of this? Well, she is what we call the deadpan snarker. It's a classic comedic archetype. She's the voice of reason, right? The witty observer who sees through everybody else's nonsense. She's basically our stand-in, saying what we're all thinking.
Okay, listen closely, because the most important word in this entire line is again. That one word tells us everything. This ridiculous duel, it isn't a one-time thing. It's a recurring family spectacle. All of a sudden, the scene has this brand new layer of hilarious backstory.
And of course, Kasarin has to make a desperate attempt to save face in front of Marissa. I was winning! You can just hear the desperation in his voice.
But Jaru is not having it. He immediately shuts him down with this perfect comeback. The quick, snappy, back-and-forth timing here is what makes it so funny. It's a perfect comedic 1-2 punch, showing us that their rivalry is still simmering, even with the judge in the room.
But this little duel, it isn't going to be settled by either of our original fighters. We've reached the final beat, the resolution. Our unexpected judge is about to deliver her verdict, and trust me, it is not what anyone expects.
The power in the room has completely, totally shifted. Marissa has effectively hijacked their little contest, and now she's about to end this entire conversation with one final epic mic drop.
And there it is, the punchline.
It works so perfectly because it resolves the whole conflict in a way you just don't see coming. It declares a winner, and the winner is neither of them. But even better, it reveals this crucial new piece of information that reframes the entire scene. Peppy, the prize they're fighting over, is apparently way better at this than both of them combined. Just a fantastic story-ending twist.
So what can we take away from this tiny little story? Well, first, we saw how fast you can establish a really compelling dynamic, the challenger versus the champ. Then, we saw how witty dialogue can raise the stakes in a really fun way. Next, we saw how bringing in a twist character can completely change the game. And finally, and maybe most importantly, a great punchline does more than just get a laugh. It actually resolves the conflict and reveals something totally new.
Which, of course, leaves us with one last question to chew on. Who really won this duel? Was it Jara with his clever comebacks? Was it Marissa with her killer takedown? Or maybe, just maybe, it was the unseen Peppy who won the whole thing without even being in the room? Now that's the power of great storytelling, no matter how small it is. Thanks for tuning in.